Hello, Oswego. My name is Dane Richardson, and welcome back to the Dean and Dane Show. Our purpose is to highlight and discuss various topics and unique opportunities within the Oswego City School District, as well as to get younger students within our district involved in the WBUC TV program. As always, we are joined here today by Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Dean Guat.
Thank you.
So, thanks for coming in again. So I wanted to start talking about the last show where we checked in with Sherry Beck on our district's literacy coach. So this sounds like a great initiative for our district. Could you tell us more about it?
Yeah, as we talked about previously, one of our primary initiatives this year is an elementary literacy task force. And that's a group of professionals, teachers, support staff, AIS people, even a school psychologist that are coming together, looking at the latest research in literacy and reading instruction to try to drive what our instruction might look like in the coming years. Something new that we're going to be launching very soon with the help of you folks is a Read to Me initiative that I'll be recording soon. And we're going to be asking students, staff, teachers, and administrators from across the district to read their favorite children's book from their childhood, and then talk about how elementary literature and literacy in general has impacted their life or career. So that's something exciting to look forward to.
Certainly sounds like a great initiative. So last week you held a public meeting regarding the capital project. So would you be able to discuss some of the key parts of the 2018 capital project?
Sure, I would love to. As you referenced, last week we had our first informational session about the 2018 Oswego City School District Capital Project that I like to refer to as the $38 project. And we'll get into why I call it that. Every 5 years, a school district is required to submit to the State Education Department a building condition survey. And that building condition survey highlights prioritized items from across your school district that should or must be addressed in a capital project. And those priority items might be around health and safety, maybe certain green products that you might be using now. And so our 2015 Building Conditions Survey is driving a capital project that we're promoting across the community that will do great improvements for teaching and learning across our school district.
All right, so let's start with the purpose of the capital project here. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it's our responsibility as a public school district to protect, improve, and maintain the public interest. And the public interest here is the quality of our properties because they're publicly owned. And a responsible school district is constantly looking at those properties, their schools, and looking for ways to improve them so that the quality of teaching and learning is better and so that we keep those buildings in great shape. So we've had a variety of capital projects over the years. The most recent one that had magnitude was 2010, where we added single points of entry in all 5 elementary schools in the Oswego Middle School. Okay. Meaning nobody can get into the school now until you're buzzed in, you identify yourself. So we increased our level of safety and security 600%. But because you're prioritizing items from capital project to capital project, some things get always left behind. So this capital project is a very comprehensive project. Not only does it identify priority items in the building condition survey, but it also addresses some other, fringe improvements on schools that haven't been made because they never rose to the level of priority that they needed to. And so over time, we've got some pockets of across our district and buildings of problems that we really, really need to address.
Now, we're going to move on to the whole scope of things and how you're including all the schools in the Oswego City School District.
The scope of this project is our entire school district. And as you know, we have 7 buildings, 5 elementary buildings, a middle and a high school. And the scope of this project touches on all 7 schools. So we're doing some significant improvements to all 7 schools. For example, at Kingsford and Fitzhugh Park, those are the last 2 schools in our district who don't have new roof systems. So part of this number are new roofs at Kingsford and Fitzhugh Park. At Riley School, it's replacing rusted lockers in second grade classrooms where students put their lunches and backpacks, something that really needs to be done. At Minetto, it's some improvements on the exterior facade, leaking windows, and things like that.
So you talked about Minetto, Kingsford, Riley, Fitzhugh, schools such as that. Well, the elementary school, which is closest to our high school, Leighton Elementary, they're having some nice improvements as well. So could you talk about that?
Yeah, the price tag on the Leighton capital project portion is quite significant because, as you referenced, Leighton Elementary sits on our main campus. And the main campus of the school district is becoming a growing hub of what happens here, not only from the business of running the district with the housing of the central offices now at Leighton Elementary School, but the SUNY-Leighton partnership at Leighton, and also because our indoor varsity athletics, Leighton Gym is really the hub of athletics for our school district. So Leighton is a multi-purpose facility. So there are some significant improvements that need to be made at Leighton inside the building and outside of the building in order to make our district more appealing to, first of all, residents who might want to live here and are interested in the quality of the instructional program, but they really also want to know if they buy a home in Oswego, what are the opportunities for their children to have in music or athletics or other things that happen after school. I've talked about in the last two opening days of school my belief that children come to school because they've made some meaningful connection to someone or something. You probably love math class, but you really come because of practice in athletics.
Yes, sir.
We have kids that come because they're in love with the theater program here, or they perform in the Marching Buccaneers. So as important as our instructional program is, it's also important that we have facilities and program that will make us competitive to other schools around us and who go to the shared vision across our community, city, county, and school district to make this a thriving community again with great schools and great facilities.
Obviously, if you improve the fields and locker rooms at Leighton Elementary, you could also host regional events and state events and things like that because of the new improvements.
That is so true. We're making some what are called site improvements across the district. At the middle school, that would include some track and field improvements because the Oswego Middle School will now be the hub of our 7th through 12 track and field. Okay. It includes the repaving of we have a great track at the Oswego Middle School and a very nice small stadium. But in the surrounding areas, we lack some of the field event capacity to host those types of things, and we really want to be able to do that. At the high school, certainly there are a lot of improvements to made there as well. On the backside of Leighton Elementary, we're talking about a new baseball and softball field, as well as some repurposing of the existing Wilbur Field. So we're going to keep Wilbur Field. We're going to use it as a practice facility. We're going to use it for physical education. And we all know that track is widely used by our community just for walking.
A lot of people are wondering, what are the changes being made to Oswego High School?
Yeah. Well, as you know, we've talked about previously, we do have a mini capital project that is really set to start very soon, where we're recreating a single point of entry main office here at the Oswego High School to improve safety and security. And we're going to move our technology infrastructure from the Ed Center, the old Ed Center, over to what's now the high school. But beyond that, in this $60 million capital project, we're talking about long overdue improvements to boys and girl locker room facilities. We're talking about improvements to the music program here at the Oswego High School. This building was built in 1970, and the band and chorus rooms, associated practice rooms, have not been improved since then. So we really need to reinvest in opportunities for kids. Music, athletics, after-school activities are just as important as the academics.
Absolutely. So a key question that a lot of people are asking, why now? Why is it the time that we should make these improvements and go forward with the capital?
That's a very good question. My question is, if not now, when? Because we have spent so much time over the last 2 years working on the district financials, making sure that we are in a solid place for moving the district forward. And now is the time. We work with our architects and our fiscal advisors who are the experts in our bonding and borrowing and our debt limits and our debt fall off, that now really is a perfect time to balance some debt that's falling off, some borrowing that we've done previously, with some new borrowing so that we can keep our tax rate pretty stable. The other reason that now is important is that a capital project like this takes a very long time. We have to get voter approval, then we have to put in applications to the state education department for a whole host of approvals. Then we have to go out for bids, and then we have to secure our bonding, and then we have to break ground. And even if everything fell into place the way we would like it to now, we're not talking about breaking ground on phase 1 until the spring of 2019. So it takes a long time to do a project like this, and now is a perfect time to get moving.
Can you break down some of the numbers we have here?
Yeah, and earlier in our conversation, I talked about the building condition survey. And in the building condition survey, they talk about improvements to all 7 schools. And that's mostly interior work. And within the building condition survey, there also are some state mandates. And there are 2 that we're addressing in this capital project. One is lead water. And you know from across the Oswego High School, there are signs on a lot of our fixtures, whether it's drinkable water or whether it's only suitable for hand washing. That was a temporary fix that we did voluntarily 2 years ago. But New York State education law says when you do a capital project, you have to do permanent fixes for problems like that. So a lot of the work that's being built into the capital project, in fact, 73% of this capital project are items that are identified in the building condition survey, including lead in water and carbon monoxide detectors that we need to put in permanently. The rest of it is site work. And site work are things like athletic improvements, parking lots. We're proposing the reconstruction of the failing Buccaneer Boulevard. The Liberty Street parking lot at Oswego High School is sinking. That needs to be completely redone. Certainly. We're talking about additional parking in the new multi-purpose facility that we haven't talked about yet, and also some additional parking that makes the new education center at Leighton Elementary more accessible. In terms of the work that's being done at Oswego High School on the outside, we are proposing a multi-purpose facility. Some are calling it a football field. I'd rather refer to it as a multi-purpose facility. It's going to be used for physical education, lacrosse, soccer, football, regional events, all the things that other school districts have, we should have for our students as well. And that will sit on the site of the current softball and soccer fields. And then some improvements to other practice facilities as well. Going back to the financials, I think it really is important to point out, because some people want to focus on the athletic portion of this project, and I think that's really important. If they want to point that out, I'm happy to talk about it. But 73% is about making our schools safe and secure and healthy and up to code.
Most of the money you guys are investing into the capital project is obviously going to the Oswego High School, because you have the most kids there. Yeah,
$23 million of the project is OHS.
And so now we look at the project funding details and the local shares per year and the average impact for full value. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
$547,000 a year is the estimated local share, meaning after state aid pays for a huge portion, the district's going to apply $4 million from our capital reserve account to offset the local share. We also have retiring debt that it contributes to the contribution to this project. So when it really all boils down, it's $547,000 a year for 15 years to complete this project. If you boil it down further, that's 38 cents on a full value assessed home per thousand. If you boil it down even further, what that means is we can do all of this work, $60 million worth of work for our students, for $37.87 a year. From my perspective, that's a really good value.
So you certainly sound like you're on the right track for the 2018 capital project. So Dr. Gui, we thank you for joining our show again.
Thank you very much.
That'll wrap up this month's edition of the Dean and Dane Show. We'll see you next month. Oswego.
Welcome back to Around Oswego. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Tyler. So Jenna, in the Dean and Dane Show, one of the topics they focused on was the capital project. Even though I'm a senior and I won't be a student and everything is finished, it really seems like a promising project for the district and the city.
Yeah, I agree. You know, as an athlete, I see the new facilities as a huge benefit.
They're actually planning to do much more than just the athletic complexes, and next week Dr. Gui is meeting with the athletes and music students to talk about the capital project, to discuss the plans and answer any questions the students have.
That's really awesome. It's great to hear that students will be able to get involved in the process.
I agree. And for anyone who is interested in hearing the discussion, WBUC will be filming it. You can find the clip online on Friday, February 16th at the Capital Project website.
I'll be sure to check it out. For anyone with questions about the project, there is a frequently asked questions tab on the Capital Project website. And if that doesn't answer all of your questions about this project, feel free to fill out an information request form on the Capital Project website. All questions that are submitted will be forwarded to the appropriate department and answered in a timely manner.
Also, on Tuesday, February 20th at 5 p.m., the district will be holding a public hearing in the OHS Theater for a comprehensive look at the Capital Project and a chance to ask any questions you may have.
You know, all of this Capital Project talk is really exciting, and it's awesome that it's inclusive to all the buildings in the district.
I agree. There's a lot of great work being done around the district, especially in our classrooms. And for this show, we actually have some clips from 2 elementary schools from our district.
We do, and the first school we're going to catch up with is Minetto Elementary School.
I actually went to Minetto Elementary when I moved here in the district. It's certainly a wonderful school, as you're about to see.
Let's take a look at what the first and second graders at Minetto have been up to.
Hi, it's Leanna, and now I will tell you guys all about what is happening in first and second grade. For first grade, therapy dogs and cats came to the classrooms for the kids to read to. It actually helps kids improve their reading to read to a non-judgmental person, or in this case, animal. For second grade, guest readers came in. These readers were Oswego State hockey players. They told the kids a lot about hockey. And that is what is going on in those grades.
It's so awesome to see the first graders interacting with the therapy dogs, especially because we have our own therapy dogs here at OHS.
Yeah, they definitely brighten my day when I see them in the hallways, and I think it's a great idea to practice reading out loud to them.
For sure. It was also really cool to see the Oswego State hockey players reading to the second graders and teaching them a little bit about hockey.
Definitely. I feel like student athletes can be such great examples for young kids because it shows them the importance of getting involved in extracurricular activities as well as keeping your grades up in school.
I completely agree. Now let's take a look at what the sixth graders have been up to.
The sixth graders are switching classes and are participating in special activities such as Battle in the Books and the Hour of Code. They also made posters about the effects of smoking in science.
Wow, there's certainly a lot going on at Minetto.
Yeah, it's awesome to see that they're still doing Battle of the Books. I actually did that when I was in elementary school. It was a great way to boost my reading skills, and it exposed me to some really awesome books and authors.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. Unfortunately, I didn't participate in Battle of the Books when I was in elementary school, but one cool thing I did was the Minetto Circus, which the sixth graders just finished up with.
You did? How was it?
It was awesome. It was really fun to practice our acts with everyone before the show, and we actually did it in 3 separate times. We performed in front of the students, and then teachers, and then parents, so it was definitely a fun experience.
That's awesome. It sounds like kids at Minetto have a lot of great opportunities.
Yeah, definitely they do. Another thing that they did was they made posters to teach students the dangers of smoking.
That's really great. I think a lot of kids may understand that it's dangerous, but they don't really understand the deadly effects that smoking has.
Yeah, I agree. You know what else has a deadly effect?
What?
Math. I'm just kidding, but math can be very difficult for students. Minetto is implementing RTI math into their lessons. This gives kids an opportunity to learn from a different style of teaching.
Yeah, math certainly is pretty difficult, so I'm glad that educators are implementing some alternative ways to learn about it.
Yeah. They're also teaching kids real-life skills that many learn on the job.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, one example is coding.
Like computer coding?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You know, it seems like it's something that a lot of people don't really know about, so it's awesome that elementary school kids are getting exposed to it at such an early age.
Yeah, I wish I would have. Who knows, maybe they would be our future computer programmers.
Maybe.
Hey Jenna, do you know what holiday is coming up next week?
Well, I know Valentine's Day is Wednesday. Is that what you're talking about?
That is what I'm talking about.
Well, at Fitzhugh Park, I know they've been selling Valentine's Day cards at their school store as part of their Leader in Me initiative, and they actually have a Valentine's Day family dance tonight. Let's send it over to them for more information.
sharpen the saw. Go to the gym all the time. You sharpen the saw. You sharpen the saw. Listen to your teachers and listen to your parents. The higher you go far when you sharpen the saw.
Wow, that's really cool. I love to see kids getting involved.
Yeah, I do too. Well, that's all for this month's edition of Around Oswego. Tune in next month for more exciting things going on around our district.